A rather potent relaxant. Yo, what's up? It's someone that's someone, and welcome back to today's report. Today's report is from Adam V. off Yearwood. When this happened, 2010. The substance used, chamomile, at a dose of 1 tea bag. The route of administration, orally through tea. Gender, male. Weight, 155 pounds. Age, 23. And his prior experience, cannabis and alcohol. Okay, so here we are with a report on chamomile. You may have heard of this substance before, as it is pretty common as a tea. And whether you've had it or not, you may have heard that it can actually provide some relaxing effects. For the most part, the overall effect is pretty subtle, but effective enough to help those find sleep and to calm down. We'll break down how that plays out and more about this substance after the report. So I'm sure you'll enjoy this. Without further ado, let's dive right into this. Recently, I found that chamomile tea is a rather potent relaxant. I picked up some bulk tea bags from a local dry goods store, like a natural food store, but way cheaper. I've been steeping 1 tea bag in a mug, approximately 15 ounces of hot water, really hot, but not boiling. I leave the tea bag in the water, wait 5 minutes, and drink the tea, not removing the bag until it's all gone. It's like being comfortably stoned with a nice body high and a clear, sedated mind. I found chamomile to be a helpful substitute for cannabis and alcohol. It helps alleviate jitterness and encourage a deep, relaxing, restful sleep. In this spectrum of substances that I ingest, frequently and occasionally alike, chamomile has become a useful tool for rest, relaxation, and recovery. Alright, so here we are finally covering chamomile. This is a pretty common and popular herbal supplement and has been used by humans for centuries at this point. I'm actually kind of surprised we've only had one report where it came up, which, personally, I've had chamomile myself at some point in my life, but it never really stood out to me as anything like a substance, more so a tea with subtle effects that'll relax you, which to a degree, this is true. But the actual activity going on and the effects of chamomile is a lot more than just a simple relaxing tea. There's a large body of research you can find down below that suggests there can actually be a good handful of health benefits. Beyond helping one get some sleep, it shows effectiveness helping with things like anxiety, inflammation, skin wounds, nausea, diarrhea, cancer, dental problems, diabetes, promoting bone density, reducing menstrual difficulties and pain, and acting as an antioxidant. Quite the list of possible areas it could be used in. So let's explain what chamomile is and how it can contribute with these conditions. So typically, there are 2 different types of chamomile. That is, Roman and German chamomile, and has a human history as early as the 11th century. Typically, the German version is the most used and tends to be the stronger, more effective one, but the Roman can also provide these benefits. Though with the Roman, there's also been reportedly a higher chance of there being an allergic reaction for those with common allergies, plus a few other slight differences. Now with chamomile, there's 120 constituents that have been found, so it is difficult to say exactly what's going on with every single one and how it all plays out. But I do want to bring up one that tends to be highly concentrated and is most likely responsible for a good amount of these effects, and that's apigenin. This is a flavonoid that has shown activity with GABA in a similar way benzodiazepines do. So a big part of the effects is thought to come from this, like the relaxation and anti-anxiety. But it does differ from benzos because it doesn't act as effectively when it comes to providing sedation and anticonvulsant properties. There is evidence showing that it can aid in this area. For example, chamomile has shown to set off the onset of a seizure by double the time. But it is thought that the way it interacts with GABA mainly leads it to acting as an anxiolytic. But when actually looking at the tests done to assess the effectiveness with a sleep disorder like insomnia, we see it most of the time only helps in the short immediate term, lasting up to a month before problems return. So in terms of actual treatment for sleep, it will most likely be a temporary solution. And I think that it's likely the other effects chamomile can cause, like the anti-anxiety and slight relaxation, help influence sleep better rather than it having a direct impact. But what I find interesting about this substance is its ability to disrupt the cellular process with cancer. And I highly recommend you look into this, as I don't hear about this being talked about too much. Then its ability to help with the menstrual cycle. Also, its possibility to help during pregnancy, which I think a lot of this is due to its anti-inflammatory effects, which it can be really effective in relieving pain, stress, and anxiety when it involves the female reproductive system, which for something like this, a cream may be recommended over a tea. But like anything, chamomile isn't a perfect substance, and it can come with problems and dangers if the situation is right. Like I said before, allergies can be a problem, especially if you apply a cream or something like that. You can have some pretty bad rashes. The other thing is a dangerous combination. Mainly, it's recommended to steer clear of anticoagulants, blood thinners, hormonal medications, and non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, and depressants, which could also be another problem due to the activity on GABA. There's also a chance of contact dermatitis if applied to the skin, which this has mainly been shown with the Roman chamomile. And on the other end of the spectrum, there could also be other problems that could possibly arise in pregnant women. But the research isn't clear enough yet to know exactly what or why. But with that, I think we'll end things off there for today. There's a lot more to this, especially looking at the history. But I mainly wanted to present the side you don't really hear about and what this can actually do on somewhat of a scientific level. There's even suggestion it can be helpful for those with autism and ADHD. So if you want to hear more about chamomile, let me know down below and we can do that. Make sure to catch the next vote and vote on the other social platforms too. And also check out the Discord, the Patreon. We got memberships on the channel now that I'm setting up, and the other social platforms too. It's been Someone That's Someone, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.